Hey Schmidlifers, welcome to episode 50 of the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. Today's guest is Yolanda DeLoach. She is finding empowerment and peace in solo travel, camping, and hiking. Her schedule as a hospice palliative care nurse enables her to have long stretches off to pursue travel and hiking. In the spring of 2021, she became a 1,000-miler after spending a year section hiking the nearly 1,200-mile Ice Age National Scenic Trail in Wisconsin. She encourages women who want more solo experiences to go for it by starting in a place that is comfortable for them. Maybe that's a walk in a local park, a day trip to a neighboring town, or camping a familiar campground. Currently, she is writing a memoir about reclaiming her spirit while section hiking the Ice Age Trail. I know you are going to be so inspired by Yolanda's courage and her determination to discover herself in a new place in her life. My guess is, too, you will be packing your bags soon for your very own solo trip. Hi, Yolanda. Welcome to the Midlife Schmidlife podcast.
Hi, Liz. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited that you are here. And I was so excited to read about your story and who you are. And I just want to dive in. And my first question to you is, can you please explain what a 1,000-miler is?
A 1,000-miler is someone who has completed the Ice Age National Scenic Trail. It's nearly 1,200 miles, and it is completely contained in the state of Wisconsin. And anyone who completes it, whether they do it as a through hike or a section hike, which is hiking it bit by bit, which is how I did it, becomes a 1,000-miler when they're finished.
That's awesome. So you have hiked over 1,000 miles, probably there and back and right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me how you got started doing that.
How I got started the trail was I had been doing some solo traveling, and I also was in the process of trying to leave a destructive relationship that I found difficult to leave. So I started the trail because we couldn't travel. It was the April of 2020, kind of the shutdown.
Yeah.
And I was looking at solo travel and things as a way to help me move on from this relationship that I kept going back to. And I remembered the Ice Age Trail ran through my state, and I thought it might be close by my home. So I Googled it and found the map and started it in the area that is near me during the start of COVID of 2020.
Wow. So you section hiked this trail, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So what does that mean? There's trailheads, like there's just a section and then it ends. And then what is it, like a road with a parking lot? And then I'm just trying to get this vision of it in my head.
So the Ice Age Trail is not a complete footpath yet.
Okay.
So it's 600 miles of footpath and about 400 miles of road walking.
Oh, wow.
And all the footpath areas have names. Clover Valley segment, Plover River segment. They have names, and they have trailhead parking, and they can go from one segment to the other, but sometimes there is road walking involved. So segment hiking involves hiking it in just chunks, however many chunks you want to hike it in, whether you want to do 5 miles in a day or 17. And the difference for me is I wasn't backpacking on it, like sleeping on the trail. I had my vehicle with me, and I also bike shuttled myself for a lot of it, meaning I would park and I would ride my bike to another trailhead, lock it up, and hike back to my truck. Sometimes I got shuttle rides. Each county that the trail runs through has chapter coordinators. And even though it was 2020, some coordinators were giving shuttle rides and some weren't. And if we did, we wore masks and such. So I did get some shuttle rides as well as biking myself. And I'm a hospice nurse, so I work in 12-hour shifts that are clumped together. So I have long stretches of time off. So I'm not just limited to the weekend. I generally went out once I got farther from my home where I could just come home every night, I would go out anywhere from 3 to 8 days at a time.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, you mentioned it before. Was this your first experience with solo travel, or had you done that before?
Nope, I had done that before. I had, and maybe 6 months prior to starting the trail, I had really started solo traveling again as a way to leave this relationship. The relationship I was in was very adventurous, lots of travel, lots of hiking, backpacking. And when I wanted it to end and needed to leave, I also didn't want the adventures to end. I still wanted to do those things. And I didn't want to sit and wait for someone else to come into my life if I even wanted somebody else to be in my life. So then I thought, I have to learn how to do this for myself. I have to get out there, teach myself to camp by myself. Or my first big trip, I got on a plane and I went to Death Valley.
Oh my gosh.
that was my first big trip by myself.
Well, first off, I love that you took the good experiences from this relationship. You took the best of that and took it with you, right? And just found a way to make that your own. I love how you said you didn't want the adventure to end. And it sounds like your solo travel really was what helped you move past all of that. I'm very intrigued by this because I do lots of things by myself. I will go to the movies by myself. I've gone out to eat by myself. These are things that I think some women especially are, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine doing something like that. A lot of this came about because I'm the mom of 3 sons. And so to go see a girl movie, that meant that I had to, if I couldn't have a girlfriend to go with me, then I would just go by myself. But solo travel, I've tried it. I tried it one time and I just am so intrigued because I was so uncomfortable and I was so surprised at myself that here I knew how to be by myself and I knew to do these things, but there just was something that, I don't know, it wasn't the magical experience that I had hoped for, put it that way. Tell me about this first trip that you had. Was it like all magical or was it something that you had to work into?
The trip to Death Valley was my first big trip. I had taken a camping trip in my own state, my first time camping, but the Death Valley trip was the big one. I had flown to Las Vegas, rented a truck, and took myself to Death Valley. I did not camp. I wasn't at that comfort level yet. I stayed at an Airbnb, which was a lady's house. She was a little old lady, and I shared a room in her home. And every day, then it was in Pahrump, Nevada. And then every day I would go into Death Valley and hike. And it was so empowering. I loved it. And on the drive back to Las Vegas, I was so moved by the experience. I cried. But I'm kind of a crier anyway.
No,
I cry over a lot of things, but I cried on the drive back over the just overwhelming sense of empowerment that I just did this thing and I did it myself. And so for me, it was incredible.
Well, I have to say, I didn't go to any place exotic like Death Valley. I went to Waco, Texas. So, just a little bit of a difference there. Maybe if I would have tried something that would have been moving like a state park or national park, maybe I would have had that experience. But tell me about that empowerment. I have goosebumps just hearing that story from you.
Well, the relationship I had been in was an extremely emotionally one that just tore me down, and it was full of shaming. And so to be able to go do something like that and say, yeah, I can do this stuff. I can do that. And I chose Death Valley because it wasn't easy.
Gotcha.
I said, if I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go big. We're going to go somewhere. We're going to go to the harshest environment on the planet.
Yeah.
I had this attitude, either I was going big. And so a lot of the empowerment came from that feeling of basically like, fuck you, I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I still was in the process, I had still gone back multiple times after that. It was still a step toward permanently letting go and leaving. So I don't think some of the empowerment was just going there in itself. It was learning about myself and that I was capable and worthy of these kind of experiences.
I can't help but recognize the symbology too of going to Death Valley to start new. I don't know. It just strikes me as the name, not like the place you chose. I don't know if you had that in mind, but I just wanted to call that out. Yeah. So have you been back to Death Valley since then?
I have not, but I have been to Southern California multiple times. I went to the Mojave Desert. I hiked there with one of my sons at the time. He was stationed at, I can't even, 29 Palms.
Okay,
He was stationed at 29 Palms. So I had visited him a couple times over the time he was stationed there and got to love Southern California. Yeah. But I did, after a year after Death Valley, I did return to that area again and hiked in the Mojave by myself. So yeah, it's just right next door to Death Valley there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like now I want to do a road trip. I love road trips. I actually saw, as a side note, I saw that you were in Texas and you visited Bonnie and Clyde's graves. So I thought that was cool. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but I just recently moved from Texas back to my home state of Florida, but I was in Texas for the Dallas area for 33 years, which I can't believe I was there that long, but I was. But anyway, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, she was right there. So too bad I wasn't still there. We could have been doing this in person. Yeah.
Because the son that I have that was stationed in Southern California, he relocated to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I visit there quite often.
Oh,
so going to the Bonnie and Clyde graves was just something we did together.
Yeah, that's fun. I don't want to get off on that, but I'm going to leave. I actually in the show notes to this because you had such a unique experience with who you met there, and it's a cool story. So I'm going to leave a link so people can go and read that. That was really neat. So what is it that you would like other women to know about solo travel?
I think a lot of people pick up on fears that aren't really necessary to carry. A lot of the questions I get, aren't you afraid? Are you afraid of being attacked? And my answer mostly is women have more to fear from their partner than they do a stranger in the woods. And when incidences like that happen, such as maybe someone is murdered, then the story is hyped up. It makes the news and it instills fear that this must be happening all the time. So that's not really the reality. So I guess what I want women to know is that there are basic safety things to take into account. Nothing more than you would just in your own area, just letting people know where you are. What are your plans? That's smart to do whether you're doing something within 10 miles of your house or 1,000 miles from your house.
Right.
And so I guess it's not as scary as I think people think it might be. That there's a lot of safety in hiking and backpacking, more than people think.
Right.
You're not going to get, most likely, outside of the rare scenario, hurt by a stranger in the woods.
Right.
Most violence against women occurs from their partners.
And I was even going to say, just the recent stories, like within the last year and a half, has actually been, even out in remote areas, has been from somebody that woman knew, where she was with. So I think that is a very important aspect to bring up. And I used to have a group of women that we would go camping twice a year, actually tent camping, until we realized it was a lot of work. So then we started staying at Airbnbs, and we would stay in state parks, usually is where we would stay. That community who's also out there, and I would think it's the same, out there hiking, out there camping, it's like a close-knit community, even if you don't even know them. It's like you're looking out for each other. That's just the sense that I get from hearing you. Do you think that's true?
I do. I think that's very true. I also, when I road trip a lot now, I learned that, especially out west, there's something called BLM land. It stands for Bureau of Land Management, and it's public land. and you can camp on it, disperse camp on it. And I do that. And again, there seems to be a community of people that do this. And yes, I feel like you said, that looking out for each other, they're out there doing the same thing and enjoying the same things you are. So there is that sense.
Here in Florida, there's actually also a group I'm thinking of that's called Women Who Hike. And it is solo hikers within Florida. And it's interesting, if you haven't been exposed to it, to realize there are a lot of women hikers, solo travelers. And it's one of those things, I think, that if you've never thought about it and you're interested, then maybe starts with something like that to see if there's something in your area that can be supportive. Do you have any other tips? Say I tell you, okay, Yolanda, I'm ready. I want to do my first solo hike. What would you recommend? How would you say I start?
I would ask, what are your experiences so far and what is your comfort level? For some people, that might be just walking in a park in their town. I mean, so that's some people's comfort level, and some people may be ready for multiple days away. So I guess I'd want to know what their comfort level is first before I just say, yeah, hop in your vehicle and drive 3 states away.
Right. You mean don't attempt Death Valley on your very first solo hike.
Yeah. What's your comfort level and experience first? And then build from there.
Right. Do you have any recommendations for like equipment? Like what should I take?
Well, there's a list of like the 10 essentials, which I couldn't name off the top of my head.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
They're basically some things for safety, navigation, hydration, snacks, some of the rain protect gear in some way, sunscreen, bug, just how long you're going to be out will depend on what you're going to take with you. And to prepare for the unexpected a little bit, especially if you're in an area that you might not have cell service. So just to be prepared with that kind of basic equipment to be out.
Nothing too exotic though. You haven't named anything that I'm like foreign with, or I don't know what that is. It's just a basic needs. Clothing that if you're in an area where it could be wet, like rain, you don't want to wear cotton. You want to wear clothes that will dry quickly, especially if it gets cool and you don't want to end up with hypothermia. So good clothing choices are important. And before we go any further with this, you have another part of your story that I don't want to leave out. And it's that you graduated nursing school when you were 48. And I really want to celebrate that. I feel like that's amazing. A lot of my listeners are at these middle years and we think, oh, I'm too old to do that, or think we just have thoughts like that, unfortunately. And so I really want to celebrate that for you, because that's amazing. So I know how hard from my daughter-in-law, how hard nursing school can be. So,
Right. Yeah, it was, I'd been a stay-at-home mom and homeschooled my kids. And those years were important and I loved doing that. But our life had changed and I needed to be able to earn a decent living. And so it was a necessity. It had to be done.
And I also love how it's set up. It's set up for you now to be able to do something that you love.
Right.
So that's great. That's awesome. So what is it that you feel that on the whole, like your solo travel adventures have given you?
It's good to get out of your small corner of the world. And I haven't traveled across the world. I haven't done that yet, even though I would like to do that at some point. That's just not where I've gone yet. But I've traveled most of this country, and at least it's gotten out of my corner. And just, I think that helps. I think the best education really is travel and to see how other people live. And that's something I've taken away a lot of traveling, because I've moved away from being a touristy travel. I've done that and had a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
But now I like to just go to the no places, I call them, and just go to random towns and see what's there and go into their most all these towns and places have their little historical museum for their town. Mm-hmm. I like to sit in little cafes and diners and just listen to the local people talk around me. Mm-hmm. So that's something I enjoy a lot, just to get out of your own little corner and see what it's like in other places for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my favorite way to travel too. Hence the road trips. I really love road trips for that reason too. And my husband is the same. We always like to go to the places where the locals will eat. We don't go to Chili's or any of that. We look for those places where the people in the town are eating and get to experience what they are. Even when we travel to vacation areas, we still like to do that. So it's very rewarding, and it is very eye-opening, I think, to experience that.
I find that solo travel also, people are interested in you when you places.
Yeah.
I was in a diner in North Dakota, and when I do road trips, I try to eat out just once a day and sometimes I don't get to at all, depends on where I'm at. But I'll try to eat maybe at like 3 p.m. And because some of the travels I had done was during COVID, so I would pick a low, busy time. And then 3 p.m. would hold me. I'd just have a snack in the evening. And I was sitting in a diner in North Dakota, and it was empty. And the cook just hollered out from the kitchen. He said, "Hey, Red, where are you from?"
I love that.
And then, since there was nobody else in the diner, the cook and the waitress sat down with me. And they just talked about their area. He'd asked if I'd seen any elk, and they just talked about their little town in North Dakota while there was nobody else in the diner. So I get that kind of attention often when I'm in places. People are interested. Where are you from? Where are you going? And then they tell you about their area. And so I enjoy that a lot.
That's awesome. I'm really great with coming up with projects for other people. So just disregard this. But I'm like, Yolanda, you could write a book of all of your cross-country experiences.
I am actually in the middle of writing a book.
Okay. Yay.
I am almost done with my second draft. I'm in a writing group and so that is a project in the works.
Oh, great. Well, I can't wait. You'll have to share it with me when it comes out, and I would love to share it with everyone. So that's exciting. It's very exciting. Another thing that you have accomplished, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So as my final question, what advice would you like to give women in midlife?
That it's never too late to go for your dreams. It's never too late to pursue something new or try something new. It's just never too late.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
I couldn't agree more. Yolanda, thank you so much for being on the show. It was great getting to know you, and I hope to stay in touch and would love to have you back after your book comes out.
Thank you so much. This was really enjoyable. Thank you.
Hey, Schmidlifers, I've shared my menopause journey quite openly here on the Midlife Schmidlife podcast, where I've chosen to see a functional medicine physician and participate in hormone replacement therapy. One of the goals of seeing my physician is sticking with proper nutrition and taking supplements, but I'm going to admit it to you right here and now. Taking my vitamins has been a struggle. That is until I found Golly Nutrition Gummies. These supplements are vegan, cruelty-free, gelatin-free, and non-GMO. And honestly, it's like having a treat each morning. Two of my favorites are the Golly Ashwa Gummies, which contains concentrated ashwagandha to support healthy adrenal function and help with stress, and the Super Greens Gummies, because let's be honest, we all could use some more greens in our diet. I've been asked to be a Golly Nutrition partner, and this means you can get 10% off your purchases by using coupon code Liz Applegate, one word, or by clicking the link in today's show notes. Join me on my quest for a healthier body and a kick-ass midlife.